Good day, good evening, good morning, good night to everyone. Welcome to the Focused and Fulfilled podcast. I'm your host, Althea Walters, and today my guest is Lillian Victoria. And Lillian, even though she's going to tell you all about herself, Lillian is a high performance coach and she has over 15 years of experience. Now, today we're going to talk about persistence and how persistence is the winning ingredients to success. And Lillian has all the formula, she has all the information to share with us. I won't take too long. So I will hand over to Lillian, who will share with you. Lillian, just tell us a little bit about your backstory and welcome to the podcast.
Well, thank you so much for having me. Such an honor. So my name is Lillian Victoria. As Atheus explained it, I am a peak performance coach with 15 years of entertainment experience. So, a little bit about me. I made a huge transition from Hollywood to what I'm doing right now. A few reasons, right? Because there was at one point in my life I thought I had everything together. I had a beautiful house, a beautiful family. I had a beautiful house on the hills in Los Angeles. I had a very good career working with celebrities, but I didn't know who I was. And then the breaking point was when I was 35, I lost everything and embarking a new journey as a single mother. That was a turning point because I still remember the day someone asked me, "So, what do you want to do? Who are you?" I'm like, I cannot answer the question of I am. My identity was tied so close to, you know, my career, my job, the projects that I was working on, my my family. I didn't know who Lillian was, and also it was at a time where I had no purpose in life. So that's when I decided to make this huge transition because, as a mother, the decision was my desire at the time was I could stay here and not figure things out, or I could start thinking and believing and creating the future that I want to be living in and start taking action in creation. Because I realized at that moment that I'm not a struggling single mother. I am a female entrepreneur that creates impact. I am creating my legacy, and that was a shift. And that's why I became what I was doing because I went through this transition and I'm still working on it every single day. And this gives me purpose in life. The day when I turned my
Yeah.
narrative around saying, going for, I am a failure, right? And not acknowledging that was just an experience. I put that into my identity, and by turning it to, oh no, I had went through this because life happened for me for a reason. It's happening for me. So what am I going to do today? What am I going to do about it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Understanding that no one else is going to be able to do it for you, just you. You're in control of your
Yes.
life, your happiness, and your economy. So that's a
Yeah.
elevator pitch of my story, and that's how I made that transition from being a Hollywood entertainment executive to where I'm at today. And I feel like, and I know I'm thriving even more because there's a really strong purpose I have in my life and everyone
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Lillian, what a powerful story. I mean, I was listening and being captivated by what you were saying. And you said a lot of things. I heard about um, you being tied to the projects that you were working on, the work that you were doing, and not being able to say, who you are and define yourself. You could not define that at age 35. And I understand those pivots in life where you need to make a shift. But there were several things happening based on what you said. You felt stuck, but you realized that you were stuck. And a lot of people are stuck, but don't have they don't recognize that they're stuck and they don't know what next to do. And I heard other things coming out where you took ownership for who you are and what you wanted to create in your life. And
Hmm.
I guess when you talk, I guess that's where persistence came after that. Now, having made that shift, how did you persist? What did you do to get unstuck, to move forward with your dreams?
Desire.
Desire. Desire.
It's having a
You
desire.
wanted something.
Yeah.
Okay. You wanted something and you went after it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I
it's
also heard mindset.
yeah. Get into the mindset that you're set up for success. That's
Yeah.
what changed my everything. I didn't understand how important mindset is. I would go to
Yeah.
therapy, and therapy is still good, but I remember I would go to therapy for years and talk about my
Mm-hmm.
problems. When I talk about my problems, that's the energy where I'm getting. I had no idea what my next step was going to be. But when I got into the
Yeah.
mindset that I'm programmed for success and my destiny is success and I am wealthy, I'm worthy, and I bring value and building my legacy, that's when things start to shift. And I have that
Yeah.
desire, right? I said desire is very important. Your goal has to be backed by a desire. One thing we were talking about
Yes.
before we came live was, why is persistence so important? And how do you stay persistent? It's the
Mm-hmm.
desire. How much do you want to create the life that you want?
Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. So the questions you
Yeah.
want to ask yourself is, am I happy? Do I have control of my life? Do I have control over my schedule?
Mm-hmm.
Right? These are the questions you want to ask. You want to ask yourself. This is a very impactful question. You know, and I always, Steve Jobs asked himself this in front of the mirror every day. Steve Jobs, okay? He said, if today is my last day, am I doing what I want to do? And ask yourself that too. Because you are your biggest supporter, your best friend, and you are in control. And if you're not, then ask yourself why and focus on what you want. And let me just emphasize on what you want. Not what you think what other people want. Not what you think, society has expected of you. Not what, you know, your limiting beliefs is holding you handicap with. Oh, I want to do this, but I can't. Take that butt out. So, but it's like, what do you really want that's going to scare you and excite you and you want it and you're exhilarated and just that thought about it is going to make you jump out of bed. That is inspiration, my friend. That's how you inspire yourself. That's how
Yeah.
you stay persistent and move towards your goal every single day and make decisions based on that.
Great. Wonderful. And you're right up my street, Lillian. I remember I also had a pivotal turn at 35. And one of the things that I did was I created a planner, which is called My Goal Tracker. And it was really helping me to put my plans in place to, progress because I also had desire for myself. And when you said get up out of bed, what makes you want to jump out of bed? I remember every morning I was jumping out of bed. I had some new thought, I had something to do, and I went after it. So I totally understand.
Yeah.
Um, One of the things is that Lillian, you said a lot of things, and I love what you said. Am I in control of what I want? Am I in control of my life? Am I doing what I want to do and not necessarily what society wants to do? And that's a big distinction that we all need to make because sometimes we want to do what others have been saying what we should do and we don't know what we want to do for ourselves. So I love that. But I have a quick question for you. I want to know, not everybody has the willpower or to go after to go after persistence and being persistent at their goals. What is like two things that you could tell the audience of what to do, to how to be persistent?
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to break this down to science. Okay. Willpower is actually one of our mental faculties that sits in our conscious mind. Our conscious mind is our thinking mind and it's our intellect mind. It has the ability to accept and reject ideas that gets into your mind before it goes into the subconscious. Subconscious is your belief, your feelings. 96-98% comes out from the subconscious. So this is very important to understand because you understand the science, then you understand you have the ability to use your willpower because it's in the mental faculty. Okay, so here's a trick, right? When people are not in the state of using their will, maybe something happened, something didn't go according to plan, they don't feel good, right? It could be an employee left, a business partner left, something happened with their friends, what have you. Things are not going according to plan, right? This is when you have to persist through. So now something happened to me last week and I didn't feel really good about it, but I'm human.
Okay. Yes.
I'm human. So I allow the feelings to process. But I'm very aware because I know I have the awareness of what is going on in my mind. I ask myself, is staying in this feeling defeated, victim, giving, is this feeling serving me? Or is looking at my goal and looking at the life that it's invisible, but we are creating that invisible into reality by moving into action. Is that going to make me feel good? Right? And for me as a mother, I'm going to ask myself, is staying here, staying down here in this feeling, is that benefiting me and my family? I live with 3 F's, right? Faith, fulfilling my legacy, and oh my God, family. There you go, family. Those are the 3 F's.
Great. Wonderful.
Yeah. So when you
So
understand
that's
that,
faith, fulfilling legacy, and family.
yeah. And when you understand that and understand we have the mental faculty, then I switch to feeling. And that's when your willpower, and I keep my eyes on the goal. I'm gonna break it down very simple. When there is a pen on this table, like I have a pen on the table, when I go pick it up, I don't overthink it. Right? And one of the things
Yes.
with willpower, when people get distracted, is the mindset's not strong. We overthink, we let the fear come in, and then all of a sudden it's like, okay, am I gonna pick up this pen? Am I gonna just go pick it up? Or am I gonna think, okay, how do I lift my fingers? How do I move it down? That's overthinking, right? Acknowledge what's going on, change it, know that life is happening for us, not to us. Then what are you going to move from there? Right? So that's willpower. Persistence ties into your discipline. And one thing a lot of people have is procrastination.
Yes.
If I break this down even more, it's fear, right? And then, but that's a secondary cause. The primary cause is your faith in yourself. We have this thing called the self image. How do you look at yourself? How do you believe in yourself? What is your self confidence? Right? That's what procrastination ties into. That's why when you make a decision on anything, you commit to it. When you see those goals that you are set to create for your life because you live your life, are you making a decision that you're committing through it and be able to hold yourself accountable? Or are you saying, oh, I'll get there maybe if, hope, or when this happens?
Yes.
Right? So I say make a decision. You make a committed decision that you're gonna come through.
Yeah.
You watch all the success stories out there. Everyone had failed. Thomas Edison, he
Yes.
failed, I think, 1,500 times before he created the light bulb. We only see the light bulb, but you didn't
Exactly.
see the process, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes what happens, Lillian, is that you mentioned overthinking, and it's like as human beings, we just choose to overthink. So one of the key points that I'm getting from you when it comes on to utilizing, willpower is just get up and
Move, yeah.
move. Don't overthink it, because if we lay the steps that are going to cause us to move forward. So don't overthink it. I got that from you. And also about persistence being tied to discipline, that you have to have a discipline, structured steps and processes to actually go after what you really, really want.
Yeah.
So I appreciated what you share about how, not everybody has the willpower, but what do we do to keep persistent and keep on moving? And thank you for sharing those tips. Just wanted to know, is there any lesson that you learned along the way that you wanted to share with us as we're wrapping up?
Oh, a lot. This is a This is an everyday job. I remember I was reading an
Okay.
article a while back on Tony Robbins, and he talked about his success. This is what he said. Okay. And you know, and before I say this, I do want to say one thing. Overthinking is a habit. Just understand all of these are habits that we have. That's it. Okay. So
Okay, got
with,
it.
you know, he said something. He said he took one of his whole week paycheck to go to a Jim's Rohn event, who eventually became his mentor. And he said, why is it so important to make investments in yourself? Right? The reason why is when you invest in yourself, you really believe in yourself. Okay. And then he said, this is the message I want to share. He said, what he has learned and what has changed him
Yes.
when he worked with a mentor, a coach, invest in himself. He said, what I've learned is I don't let the my life, what the so-called life tear me down. I work on building myself better and stronger. That's how you don't let that outside control you. Yeah, COVID is happening. A lot of people are so worried. Oh, economy, I can't do this. You know, build yourself better. Solution. Create solutions. Opportunities are everywhere. And no failure is expected, but failure is only an experience. Nothing is handed to you or a person just like that. And if it does, that success doesn't stay long, right? You gotta fail forward.
Correct.
Did I answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, you did. You did. So I heard in terms of when you invest in yourself, you really believe in yourself, and that's a big, big gem and takeaway that I got, and I know my audience will appreciate, because a lot of times we're so fearful of investing in ourselves, so fearful of trying something new, learning something new. Because in order for us to grow, we have to learn. And for you to learn, you have to invest either your time or money. And
Mhm.
so it's important for us to have that lesson to invest in ourselves.
Yeah.
You also share that, you build yourself up for the better, which comes with investing in yourself
Yeah.
and creating solutions, looking for the opportunities. And earlier, you also said, Lillian, that we should position ourselves and our mind that life happens for us, not against us. Lillian, those were some absolutely great tips, absolutely great information that you shared with us in terms of, persistence and how it ties to your success and working on yourselves and working on your dream. Is there any last words that you want to leave with us as we're wrapping up? How do we find you? How do we contact you?
Yeah, so I could give you all my socials. I have a private
Sure.
Facebook
And
group.
I will also drop them. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so I'll give you, you can put it in with your info, but the biggest thing I want to share for everyone that's listening to this, if life is happening for you, then what is your calling and what action are you taking today to build the life that you want, to build the wealth that you desire and you deserve? And let's start from there. That's my biggest message. Thank you so much for
Awesome.
having me again.
Thank you so much, Lillian. That was great. Thank you so much. I'll put all the information below so that my audience can access it. It was wonderful talking to you today, Lillian. Thank you so much.
Thank you.